Welcome guys to another video. I'm gonna do a little side playlist to my channel, which is comic book fighting. I always want to do this. It's kind of a side thing. I would love to do these, and I love watching them because the ones that I see more often, like comic book casts and stuff, those guys are good. I love their fights. Sometimes they're not the fan favorite, but some are not fan favorite, but some are like more fair type fights with ideas that they have the ways that they can actually beat each other fairly. But in this one, I'm gonna put the Justice League versus Avengers. So this one has been kind of a fight between everyone that likes comics and superheroes, and I'm gonna use the movie versions that are gonna be used, and here are the Avengers. Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, and Falcon. I'm using the top 7 on each team, because those are pretty much the only 7 that's gonna be on the movies. And on the new 52, they're gonna use these 7. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg, and Aquaman. And going back to the Avengers, you're wondering why I put Falcon. It's kind of ridiculous. But Falcon is the only one that's being shown right now, and he's in Captain America Winter Soldier. If you guys not seen the trailers, I didn't watch that movie yet. I'll just wait until it's on DVD. But yeah, I really put him there because he's the only one that's gonna show up, and then the Justice League, they're gonna have all the 7, including Cyborg. But yeah, now to put these guys in matchups, because they're gonna have to be in matchups. That's usually the strategic way of being in the matchup. Superman will go to Hulk, because they're the 2 big strong guys, and if one of them goes against them, it wouldn't really, everyone else goes against it. Kind of wouldn't make that much sense compared to Superman, because in this situation, he's gonna take on Hulk because he looks like the big guy on the team, which he is typically, and that he kind of put in their mind that it might resemble the Doomsday. Yeah, it's kind of weird that I'm saying that, because that's my wild card, that he might be kind of like Doomsday in a way, a resemblance, big monster, except he's green instead of gray, and does have stones on him, and he's not as smart too, and screams. So you might, and if Superman has already seen Doomsday and died from it and came back, so that's why I'm gonna say Hulk. On that one, I have to give it to Superman, because kind of like Thor, he has all those abilities that he could do in the air, and that Superman is a lot faster than the Hulk. So yeah, and if he really thinks it's Doomsday in this fight, he might take him somewhere else to fight him, because they might cause a lot of destruction. So he might put him through space and back to Earth, where Hulk is gonna be running out of oxygen. I'm not saying he might kill him in space or through that situation, but if he throws him in space away from the fight, Hulk is gonna die. He cannot breathe in space. He has the vitals of a human being, but he needs oxygen. I'm talking about movie based. And if you guys have not noticed, this is kind of stupid, but it has to be put in here. Hulk got KO'd from falling from the sky, and he wasn't even pushed that hard. It wasn't like Thor with his hammer pushing him down. Anything. He just got knocked out. So that actually tells something. If you just punch him away from the fight, he'll get knocked out and there would be no point. And if he's in the desert, he's stuck. He lost. Typically. That's just going over movie basic also. But that's what we're basically gonna do it. Now the next matchup I'm gonna do is Batman versus Captain America. This one's been a highly debated one, actually, because they're both the strategists on both teams. They're pretty much the minds of the teams. Batman's been the whole mind of the team, basically. Technology, strategy, thinking moves ahead of people and stuff. He's the only one. And Cyborg is also, but if you gotta give credit, Batman's the more one on it. He's the best one on it. These two together, if they fought like in the comics, they dropped their stuff, play clean, Batman's gonna win. Because if you know Batman, and if you're smart enough, you would cheat. If it goes on for long, you're gonna want to cheat. Because why you want to go fight 24 hours? That's bull. Just thinking realistically, they would be fighting hours and hours. But Batman's gonna try to take the shield, which is the big thing in this fight. He always goes for the weakness. Like in May, he takes out the Venom pipe and stuff. He's used to taking weaknesses out. Captain America, I never seen him take weaknesses out. And I was really a big fan of Captain America. I kind of evolve into characters, like I move on to this one and move on to that. But this one, I have to give it to Batman. He has actually counter martial arts to Captain America. I know he has mastered some skills. Don't get me wrong. He doesn't have the much experience as he does on one-on-ones, and he could just plane out without his suit, without each of their suits and the shield and the utility belt, and they were in like a dojo. Batman would win. Batman would win. In a smart and intelligent way, probably. I don't know. Next, I'm gonna put Wonder Woman versus Black Widow. You guys are gonna be saying this is pathetic, or the weakest one, pretty much. Of course it is. This one's no-go. This is a no-go because I really hate this matchup. But I don't want to give like any disrespect from any other of these guys, because the others actually have powers. Really, she can't contest with all the guys' powers except probably Batman, because he has none. But Captain America has powers. But if I switch Captain America with Wonder Woman and Batman versus Black Widow, Batman would still win, because his mind is way beyond Black Widow's, even though she's a super spy. And Wonder Woman would win against Captain America, because the last of the truth, I'm going cheap. Just tie it around him. He's done. And she's a lot stronger. And a lot faster. And she can fly. And she's a master of with the shield and the sword. But actually it would be a longer fight for Wonder Woman and Captain America. Batman with Black Widow. Black Widow runs out of bullets. Batman just straight up beat her. He has beat Lady Shiva, which is close to my extent, closest. So the next one I have is Flash versus Hawkeye. I put these two guys together because these two can actually beat each other. Flash is most likely going to beat him, but now I was like, this is like a blowout right here, because he's so freaking fast. It's not true. It's not true. Not being kind of one-sided. I'm looking at both sides because I'm looking at both their skills. That Justice League is kind of OP for almost all 5 of these characters. All 5. So the next one, Hawkeye is very, very good with his archery, and if he could kind of predict at moments, he probably could get the Flash. Because you just need to catch the Flash once, and it's gonna be really hard for Hawkeye, because Hawkeye hasn't really gone against a speeder in a movie wise. Has not went against a speeder. In movie wise, if Flash is with Green Arrow, has seen him and went against him time to time because he had made bad decisions or whatever. I don't really know what they do on the side stories. I think Flash might take this one. If he had experience with Green Arrow, being with Green Arrow, he might be able to have an advantage right there. But Hawkeye has definitely the chance. Okay, he got Shatari flying out without even looking, which is kind of silly to think that, because if you actually seen the guy without the green screen, he just made the string go and it just hit it, which is a movie. It's a movie. I have to think movie. But that one, Flash, so far it's being a blowout. Typically, Green Lantern versus Falcon. I put these two together because they're the only ones that would actually make sense. I wouldn't put them against Iron Man, because Iron Man would have no chance with his energy projections that he could counter, and that Iron Man kind of loses power faster in the movies. He kind of loses power in the movies a lot faster. Green Lantern has barely touched his battery. He touched it once or twice throughout the whole movie. Iron Man had his suit repaired, rebooted, and he switches to another, and it starts running out of battery also. So that's a really bad thing to say energy wise, but I want to use it against Falcon because it will be more interesting. I want to try something different, and this one is actually really hard. It depends how fast Green Lantern thinks, and it's how fast Falcon could attack. This is a big problem with this matchup, which I really have. I only know so much about him that he could actually like throw some stuff from the wings that like knives. When this movie, in the Captain America, I don't think I could see that right now. If they were to go hand to hand, and Green Lantern has fought and sparred with Sinestro, fighting, I have to give it to Green Lantern. He has that. He has trained with Sinestro, Gilligwag or something like that, and Falcon. Falcon. I think he's kind of like went with Captain America and stuff, but the experience that Green Lantern has right now is kind of more advanced. So I'm gonna have to give it to Green Lantern. Yeah, it's like I actually tried really hard to put these matches up together because it's just the Justice League has gone through the comics. They've gone through more advanced villains more often. They went against Darkseid so many times. Superman's gone against Brainiac so many times that I've watched so many times he has. Batman has gone against so many villains. and it's a constant thing every day. These guys just go against harder villains on a daily basis, like every day. I think the Avengers have sometimes they're not a hero unless the team actually needs them. So yeah. On a solo basis, I think Justice League outweighs them in experience because it's a daily basis. It's a daily basis. Next is Cyborg versus Iron Man. I put these guys together because they're both use machines to help them in the fight. They both can fly. They both have projectiles. They pretty much have the same amount. Cyborg is very high energized. He could go out probably for days without recharging. Full days, 24 hours without recharging. He has to live with it. Iron Man has to recharge. Strength. There's limitations to Cyborg, and there's limitations to Iron Man depending on the suit. On a regular suit, he could barely carry a car, where Cyborg can carry almost like in a Teen Titans version. He was in the gym there, he was able to carry, how can I say this, house length, but not house size, house length, thin but really thick metals, as long as a house, and got like 6 stacks of them, and he was able to carry almost that much. So I think Cyborg's been kind of tweaking with his muscles right there, and I think he has the advantage on strength. Intelligence, this is gonna be hard. They're both gonna be looking at weaknesses. I'm laughing right now because I know who's gonna win this one. Because there's this big card that I have that I know of, and Cyborg's a hacker, and he has hacked a lot of stuff. Even though Iron Man's gonna look for weakness in him, he doesn't really have a weakness. Except he could bring him apart. But Cyborg's a hacker. Is a problem. He's a hacker, and he has the ability to hack Tony's suit to shut it down. And I got this most likely from the Injustice game. It's kind of weird. The Injustice game, he's hacking himself, his evil double. They were hacking their own suits and trying to shut them down first. And his hacking was really fast. And that's the kind of the big thing that Cyborg can do against Iron Man. But what Iron Man has experience with is flying and using his repulsor rays and weapons more often, I think, than Cyborg. Cyborg's usually been on the ground and shooting and fighting on the ground. More knowing for. I haven't really gotten to the New 52 as much, but yeah. This one's kind of a Iron Man kind of has outweighs him in a lot of stuff more than probably Cyborg. But Cyborg has that card where he can just hack his suit and shut it down. I really want Iron Man to win this one. Really. I like Cyborg. I like his voice actor voicing him is awesome. The booyahs and stuff. I love the cartoon version. If it was the cartoon version, that's a blowout. Iron Man wins. But if we're talking about Injustice and plusing the New 52, it's really hard to tell. I'm gonna go with Cyborg on this one because he can flat out win him on just hacking his suit. Now to be quick, Aquaman versus Thor. I put these two guys together because they kind of have the same character traits than Superman against Thor, and yeah, and Wonder Woman would be kind of the second to being like him. Aquaman is the king of Atlantis. He kind of has the same role as Thor, taking care of Asgard. This one's really hard, and I'm not being biased here. Aquaman uses water. If they were starting on the ground, Aquaman will have the advantage. And thunder wouldn't really be much of a help if he has water around him, because lightning can't go through water. Well, unless it's a Shazam type of thing where it actually does because it's magic, way into magic. But it's not exactly like thunder from your regular thunder from the sky. It's actually magic. Whereas Thor's is actually weather thunder. Thing is, I mean, playing again Injustice, I have to bring it up. Injustice has kind of been the step up to these characters in a while, and Aquaman has become a really cool dude now. Thor has a lot of advantages with his flying and his different experience, but Aquaman has his different experiences also. They're both good fighters, okay? Thor might have a better stamina and invulnerability, but these guys I would see them fighting way better than Superman versus Thor, because these guys would be fighting with their weapons, the Trident staff and the Mjolnir, and they could both retract it back. He could turn his Aquaman could return his staff into water, sink it up back in his hand, and start using it again. It's kind of indestructible in a way. Even if you break it, you'll just fix it. And they could both produce a magical electricity. Hate to say it for Thor fans, he does. Injustice, when he grabs you, he stabs you with the trident, and magical water lightning just comes out of the sky and just zaps you. I'm putting more Aquaman into this one because I want everyone to know what Aquaman could do, because he's been kind of a disrespected character for a while. Just hasn't been moved on until Jeff Johns or something that actually brought him back to the actual character he should have been. And this one I'm gonna have to give to Thor. He could fly. The water will help Aquaman hold his own and probably be really close to being Thor if they were to go hand in hand. Really close. Really close. But Thor, you have to give it. Superman was able to beat Aquaman. You gotta know Thor would probably be able to beat Aquaman also. So, and I kind of like putting them to get Superman and Thor kind of together on that part. But I hope you guys like this video. Share it with others. It's just a side thing. And comment on the down below what matchup I should have done in this setup, or what I should add for the next Avengers revised part. So yeah, you guys, I have to get this to Justice League. It would be technically only Thor or Hulk. Superman still can be beaten by Hulk, but I can't really see it right now since he's so popular, more popular than Hulk, and that Superman's more of the first superhero that everyone just came out of. So gotta give it to the Justice League because they're so OP for this one. Black Widow and Hawkeye could just be destroyed by anyone else besides Batman, and Captain America, and Falcon, and Iron Man. But I hope you like this fight. I try not to be biased here. Really hard. It's really hard for everyone's opinion. So hope you guys like it. Bye.